Talking with Graham Motion, who will saddle Kitten's Point in the Jessamine Stakes. Just the one start, Presque Isle. Why'd you pick this spot?
I thought she was so impressive at Presque Isle. It's the time of year where you need to find out where you're at, and as impressively as she ran, I thought she deserved a shot in this race.
Pedigree suggesting that maybe turf could be her best?
Yeah, definitely. Look, the synthetic horses, they normally handle the turf. I like starting the horse at Presque Isle. It's, the turf horses certainly handle the Tapeta very well. I think 2 turns will be more up her street, to be honest. I was surprised she was able to do what she did sprinting. So, it's a big step for her, but she's obviously a filly I like a lot.
What impressed you most about her race?
Quite honestly, the fact that she came from so far back and was able to get up and win kind of comfortably, really.
Would you consider Breeders' Cup if she were to run big?
Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but obviously that would be something you'd have to think about.
The Presque Isle horses seem to transfer that form really well to the main track here. Any guess as to why that is?
Well, I think it's similar. It's a different type of synthetic, but obviously, all synthetics have similar properties, if you like. So I don't think that doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
The Kitten's Joy out of a King Mambo mare, right?
Right.
Do you have a feel for is she trained on all surfaces? Is there one that's a preference?
She actually handled the dirt okay, but just her pedigree, and the Kitten's Joy, it certainly leans towards turf and synthetic. These Kitten's Joys are phenomenal. The success that Mr. Ramsey's had with that horse is really amazing, I think.
Let's talk a little bit about Animal Kingdom. An ambitious spot to come back in the Breeders' Cup Mile. What gives you the confidence to do that?
The horse trained very well. He's probably the best horse I've ever trained. Obviously, he won the Kentucky Derby. He just has so much ability. I just didn't feel like coming back in the fall, where there aren't that many race opportunities available in seriously, grade 1 races, if you like. I wanted to run him on the grass, and I just feel like he's a horse that's good enough and capable of doing something like this off a layoff.
How has he changed from when we last saw him, just physically?
He's always been a big, strong horse, which unfortunately is why we've had the physical problems with him. He's a very fast, big horse, and that's probably the most deadly lethal combination. But physically, I think he's even bigger and stronger. Maybe matured some mentally as well. He's just a great horse to be around. He's a pleasure to have. Very, very clever horse.
Yeah, he's won on all 3, and he won the Kentucky Derby on dirt. But do you have a thought of which surface he actually would prefer if he could talk?
I think turf is his natural. I think that's what he prefers. He's bred for the grass. His daddy just got beat in the Breeders' Cup Mile. And I think the turf is probably a little kinder for him. It's a kinder surface for a horse who's had an injury like he has.
And lastly, talk about the challenge of the 1 mile distance. Very demanding test, and he's 1 mile and a quarter. He's certainly shown his versatility, but we talk about surfaces. What about distance is his best?
I think probably as the year progresses next year, hopefully we'll look to stretch him out, But I think coming back a mile 16th, mile 8 is a natural distance for him. I felt like it would be too much to come back going beyond that, quite honestly.
Feel good about how you're positioned for the fall meet here at Keeneland?
Yeah, I do. You come in here, it's very competitive. We just won our first race, so that makes me feel a little better about it. I'm excited about running Kitten's Point on Thursday, so hopefully we got some live shots coming up this week.